So this is kind of how they'd go together with this. Of course, this wouldn't be like that, but I messed up this one. So the hump here should be really just fairly even with this ultimately. I mean, that's doable. I just got to basically take it flat, right, the last ½ inch, about even with where this half moon goes. And I think that would be just sufficient. So I'm using what's called a straight bit this time. Last time I used the Roman OG bit. So that's the 2 bits I'm using, just in case somebody's curious. So this is a ½ inch by 1 inch bit here. And I need to make that second level. So we're going to try it out right now on a piece. I'm going to get this thing positioned the rest of the way. Yeah, it looks like about a ½ inch. This is a ½ inch bit. I'm right at the edge. Too far in. I got a ledge here that shouldn't be there. So this needs to come this way a little. So yeah, that cleaned it up. So this won't work, but that's the same idea. You got this, and really I wanted another level here like this, and I can still do that. Now you can see there's a little bit of a ledge. That looks nice. And it goes more in conjunction to the way it should look. Let's do that so you can see. There you go. I think that'll look really good. That's what I'm going to do right there from here on out. I've still got a few groups of things I've got to mill. I mean, I've got to put edging on. So here's one piece right now. I need to do 5 of them. And I'm leaving most of them wider than I need so I can cut them down afterwards. But here's a couple that are just the right width. So this one I got to do. That's for the top window, the small side. And then over here, so also on the small window side, the lower ones have to be done. And these things are thicker, about 1.25 inches, I think. And so I got to do those. And then I've got to go over here and I've got to do these pieces similar to that. So I got to do 5 of those. And then the toughest one, pretty much, is this guy right here. As you can see, it's got a lot of shapes to it that they've made. Track here, this side. So I'll be using this to do all that. Now, I'm not certain that I have to do this, but I probably will, just because it may be necessary. This is going to probably, out of all of them, going to be the hardest one to deal with. But anyways, you can see I got a lot of these to do. Yeah. There. Okay. All right. That's it. Now the other thing I can do is I can set it on that shelf and bring this back so the fence is right in position. Going 3/4 of an inch in might be about right. I'll double check it here. Setting this to 3/4, and it says it's more than 3/4 there. Yeah, that worked. Looks good. Real good. Pleased. Perfect. Those, of course, I got to cut the ends. Okay, so of course that knot's not going to be there. It's going to be cut off here, but yeah, that's the top short window pieces. The bottoms are thicker and totally different because that's where the window closes against. And I think that's also because of the window crank. So, start on those next. All right, welcome back. This is the next piece. It's really much the most complicated one yet. This is where the window crank goes. So I got to make my first cut along here. I can cut this out later. I got to do a 1/2 inch one here. But then on this side, I got to come up with a slope here, a bevel. And then on the bottom, to clear the regulator arms, or whatever you want to call them, I need to do about a 1/2 inch right here away, and maybe another 1/16 of an inch. That's a 1/2 inch wide depth down at this part, so everything sets right. Yeah, it's not going to be an easy one to make, but I'm going to fiddle with it, see what I can do. That's what I'm going to work with right there. So, see if we can't get this going. Looks good. Okay, that's the first angle on these. So I got 5 of those done to do now. And so next project's to put a different bit in. I want to look at that L-shaped bit here that I have. I might have a couple of them, honestly. That one's a 1/2 inch one. I don't think I have one in here. Slotting 3/8 by a 1/2 inch. About like that. Where's that thing at? Yeah, I got a little level above it. That's what I was just looking at. That's what this will do. I don't even know if you can see it, but if I put this one here to where it's right at the top of the arch, there won't be an extra level actually. That's it, but that's okay. And then I just got to slope down on this side. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Have no idea, but that's going to be my test. I'm just doing a couple minor turns and testing it. There we go. Still flattening it out right here. I don't want it to do that. So I need to come up. I need to drop it down so it brings it up since it's upside down. If that makes sense. Just a couple little turns. We'll go a little further with it. Now it's got a little ledge here. Let me see if I want that. I forget. Well, I don't think it'll hurt because I can run that other piece. Oh no, I don't want the ledge there at all. All right, so I'm getting a ledge here. That's the new part, and then I'll go beyond that, or see if I can erase that. So now I got to go to the opposite way I've been going. I got to go back up, just small. I'll do one turn. One minor turn. Let's try that again. Perfect. Now that being said, also, I want to bring this, the board's not exactly against the fence, it rocks a little. I want to get rid of that rock. So, we will bring it over. There's little marks there. Oh. Let's see if we rock. Not anymore. All right. All right. I think that looks okay. So we're going to start out with this, like this. And the goal is to get the shape right here on top, this 1/2 inch, just a little bit of a drop that you can barely see. That's the project here. Let's see if we can do it. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. All right. So there is the two. They're slightly different, obviously. And then after I get all these done, like that, then we'll work on this slope, which comes off that little flat surface. So this is really the most complicated one I have. It's the one for the window crank. And I have to do the backside because the window crank has shafts. And the window, the other mechanism, has shafts that run along it. So those have to be able to have room to work in here, and there's 2 shafts that'll be connected. Morning, Monday morning. Gonna take a walk out here and see if we can't get the rest of my trim done. I'm at probably at the toughest part right now. So we'll see if I can get it done today. At least this one piece, because there's, even in the framing, I still have stuff I've got to use on the router on. And today, I think I got to use the table saw on a part to do a 45 that I was working on yesterday. That's been multiple angles, and that's what's been tough. Anyways, let's get to it. All right, so you can see the bottom, I'm going to take it out and clean it up. So you can see I got a lot more work to do. I think the best thing for me to do right now is to cut this piece down so I can come up with this angle here. Anyways, I'm trying to emulate this. The window actually comes up against this, and obviously this sits higher. So yeah, that's all stuff I'm trying to work on this piece. I spent most of yesterday doing five of them like this, just to get that stair step effect as much as possible. So yeah, the underside I should be able to do that pretty good as well. It's going to be back to the router again once I get this angle done. I think that's most important, is getting this angle done. All right, folks, I thought I'd give you an idea how this turned out. So if you look at this, I got my slope here. This is a little narrower on the original than here. About the same here at this step. And of course the design here is different. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. It's coming out pretty good. I was just contemplating raising it a little bit, seeing if that would change things. After I've ran them all through, I'll do a test run and see if I can close this gap off a little bit more. If I can, that would be fantastic. So we'll keep running through, because I don't think I can go any farther. I don't think I can. Maybe. We'll try it. Welcome. I picked up a couple things that I'm going to try out this summer probably. I thought I'd show it to you. So I picked up a .22 caliber Benjamin air rifle. This one is a regulated version. These guns are not like the ones back in the day when we were kids. If you're, like my age, these things are light years ahead of what they were back then. This particular gun, I don't know if some of you older timers remember Sheridan pellet guns, but these guys bought out Sheridan, and so basically this is a kind of along the Sheridan line. Don't know if you can see that in there. It's got a beautiful wood finish. Now this is an air rifle that'll take .22 caliber pellets. What is that? It'll hold 10 pellets at a time. It's got a little case here for doing that. Got your little manual. And then they give you the specs to it. This is the ballistics test that they give you. And they give you some information about it. So I'll pull it out so you can see it a little better. It does not come with scope or sights, so I won't be doing anything with it anytime soon until I can figure out the scope that I want to get. But from what I understand is you definitely want to go through the stuff Make sure everything's tight, just to double check it before you go and start playing around with it. So I want to get a sling for it. I want to put a scope on it, and it fills up right here. There's a cap, and I'll go over all that stuff later. And it fills up, but yeah, it's beautiful. It's got a cheek guard here. It's a great looking gun. Great looking gun. It's got a safety on it here, but again, I'll go over all that stuff at some point. But I do have to get a scope for it, like I said. I'm looking at a Hawk, so we'll see about that. So this one's 22 caliber. I got a 45 caliber gun coming from another company that I will be also probably scoping and trying out. So we'll go from there on all that, get that all figured out. I can put a pretty good size scope on this because there's nothing here in the way. It doesn't have any sights. So shooting this without a scope is probably not something I would ever do. The other gun, the 45, does come with a scope mount, and it does come with sights. So it could be shot without a scope on it. The 45, I went with that instead of the 50 caliber because of the availability of the pellets and stuff for that. A lot more availability than with the 50 cal. And then the 22 caliber, you know, it's good for small rodent hunting and stuff. The 45, you could literally kill a deer with. For me, I'm in Washington State. They have a very limited range of animals you can shoot with a pellet gun with a small game license. So I can't even shoot deer here. But next door to me is Idaho. Idaho has a huge list. You could go after white-tailed deer, rabbit, all kinds of stuff. I believe it was turkey you can go after too. Can't do any of that here in Washington yet. Maybe eventually they'll wake up and allow people to do that. These can kill ethically nowadays compared to the old school stuff. So they've came a long ways. Let's go ahead and open up the air compressor. I'll go ahead and set this back down in here. This one will run on, so this is probably battery cables and airline. It'll run on 110. Yep. So you got your cable for 110. You got your air hose. And then you've got your 12 volt. And then it's got a few other things here I got to read up on and see what they are. But there's all that. And it's a fairly small compressor. It's got some beefy weight to it though. And this is from Benjamin, and it will pump up to 3,000 PSI. You got a digital readout here. Yeah, your on-off switch there. You got your 12 volt DC there. So, oh yeah. And I've got spare connectors if I ever ruined one. It's the same stuff as some of my portable solar units take. My portable solar would actually be something I could plug in right here, go 12 volt into it if I wanted to. But this way I could hook up to the vehicle battery. But the 110, I'd probably just bring my portable power, plug in the 110 there and just have that sitting with me. It's small enough to take along with me. So you can certainly do cheaper guns than this. This is more of an intermediate gun. You can pick up guns for under $200 that are pretty decent. But if you want something that's a little more accurate, much nicer, you're looking around. This is sub $800 is what I'll just call it. It's below that quite a bit. But as is the 45 I got coming. But the 45 I wanted to get retails for $1,900, but they had it on sale for basically $13.99, I think it was. So twice the money almost of one of these. So But it was a really nice gun. It's really nice. I think it even comes scoped. So it's all ready to go. And it should for that. Alrighty. I'll be back with you. I'm going to go put this stuff away. All right. I got to do, so I've got this side all done. And it'll look different as I do the bottom. Next step is to get this level done right here. This is about a 1/2 inch, I think. So I got it marked. I'll test it as I'm doing it. I'm going to just do a little at a time. I went ahead and lined this up. So I got this cutter. So it'll just hit a little bit into it on the first one. And I got it all the way back to where I want to start. And then I'll work my way out. Once I get this, then I'll start going deeper too. I think I'll just work my way out, then I'll come back and I'll redo each one. It's going to be a little bit tedious, but that's the way I think I'm going to do it. There's the first groove. They end up like that. Those 3 levels, if you can see the 3 levels there. Let's see here. You got lower level, lowest. Next level, the level I left there. So each time will be a level. Each time will be all of these. Do them all at the same time. Hopefully you can see this. It's a little further. Get more like it needs to look. Yeah, I'm going to say about 1/8 of an inch left to go. All right, I double checked it with the other one, and I'm right on the money. Okay, now I got to change that out to the 1/2 inch and drop this down for this level here. Right there. It's about 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, exactly. And I'll get it lined up for this after I do that. That'll be the next step. And like I said, this will be a little thicker here because I don't have this angle. I could go with a sander. I don't think it's going to make a difference for the window. I'm sorry I'm yelling. There, I can hear myself talk. I could sand this some more and bring it down exactly like this one. Had I wanted it perfect, I could sand this down, get rid of this gap, and get this a little more correct. But I got the angle. Everything's kind of correct on the angle here. So you can see that there. I'm not going to worry about it. I think the window's going to close up to it rather nicely still. So, anyways, I got to get this next level done. And then I got to start working where the piece is going to go. And I'll try to saw it with my Chinese saw, I think it's called, that I have. I'll show it to you later. I'll get it all figured out. I'll start working with that in a bit. This stuff is really... This is the one thing that's taken the most time, and I've done them all at the same time. That'll make it so much nicer for me because I can move to the other stuff, and nothing else on the build has this many contours to it. So, yeah, it should be good. Probably could skim off just a touch more, but that's essentially where we're at there. Is that. Hopefully you can see that. And that's what I was trying to get at. That's going to give me, again, that's going to give me this. The only difference is just a little bit thicker here, but we're coming out with the profile. Profile's coming out really good. Anyways, a lot of work on this guy, but you know what? I want it to look good, even though it's just a shop. I take pride in my work. So, I mean, I've never done this before, so this is probably not perfect, but so I'll just keep rolling with these. I got 4 more to do, and I'll be done with those finally. I'll go ahead and get to work on them, and I'll be back with you after a little bit. All right. 65 1/4. All right. It's going to be something like this. Okay, I know it's going to be hard to see, but right here I got a little bit of a lip. I'm going to do each of them, so I got to go make the lines. I don't think I have made all the lines on them yet, so I'll go ahead and do that. Then I'll be back and I'll start showing you how this works out. So this will be the final run through on this. All right, I'll be back with you in a bit. Well, how time flies. Thursday already. And I've got a lot of routing still for pieces before I can assemble. I've been working through it. It's now at a point where I'm in the finesse stages, I guess is what I'm going to call it. So I'll show you what I'm working on right now. I'm not going to put out this week's video. I'll do it next week again, mainly because, well, I know most of you don't want to see a whole bunch of this work and would rather see the windows going together. So would I. Here's where I'm at. So you can see I'm using this saw. And I'm at a point where I've got to get this part cut out. So you can see I'm sawing, and then I'm going to use a router on it afterwards. It's kind of a finesse job. So, and that's only part of it. I still got the ends to do. And that's not even all of it. This is the center. It kind of protrudes out. You can see it's pretty rotten, but I can kind of figure out what I got to do with these pieces down here. And I got to do my cutting. Actually, this cut's going to be longer, but it's, I don't know why I drew it like that, but I did. But anyways, it's probably going to be longer, and it's kind of thinner too. So I'll be taking the board, and I got to do some cuts on it here, as well as at the other end. And then that's not even all of it. I mean, I've still got this stuff to do here, which is 3 levels. I've got this here on both ends. It's going to take work. And then I've got even these end pieces here for the sides. All of those are going to take a lot of extra work. But as you can see, I still got my hands full working with all this stuff. And there's no way I'm going to get to assembly this week. I got to keep plugging away. Just slow going, sawing by hand right now, and then I'm going to break those little pieces off, It's going to take time because I got 5 of them to do total. I'm on the first one right now. I'm going to film some of it and stuff because later on when I do the full video and everything's condensed down, I'm going to give flashpoints to everything I've done in one assembly. So I'm going to pick the best footage that I come up with out of all of my assembling and create one video at the end of all the videos just to give somebody an idea of what I went through on one window to make one window. So obviously it's taken a lot of time. I'm probably in the 3rd week of it, I think now. So slow going. One right here. Let's see if I can use it. This will be easier. Hopefully I didn't cut too far down. That'll suck. I won't know until I test fit it and everything. But looks like I cut it too far down. Yeah, I was supposed to probably stop right about here, so I may have ruined this one. Let's take a look here. Oh yeah. Oh no. It's supposed to go to this edge up here. So I think we're okay. I just need to cut this and get this off now. Then I can smooth everything out. Try not to tear it. That worked. Now I can just sand it at that point. So hopefully you can see. Now I'm going to move back and try and get this taken out. And then I'll just have to sand and kind of clean things up and make it look as good as I can on this edge, because that's what's going to be seen. So let's see what we can do here. Coming along. Starting to look good on the edge here. It's all nice and even. And it doesn't have to be perfect under here. No one's going to see that. Although I want it pretty level, and I think I got a ways down yet to go. Alright, I'll be back to you when I'm done. Alright, so this is how it's going to fit around it. So that worked out really good for me. And as you can see underneath, that's why it needed to be like that. So that the arms can... There'll be another arm here. I got to find it. It's somewhere around here. Fell off. But anyways, this one's ready to roll. I got 4 more to do. And you can see that it's time consuming. And I got to be careful. So I'm going to go ahead and get back to doing all that. And these are longer than I need them, so I can cut the ends down accordingly when the time comes. So that'll be as I'm assembling, I'll get that going. And then I got to work the ends. However I'm going to do them. Don't know yet. Because I can't duplicate those shapes because my shapes are slightly different. All right, I'll go ahead and I got 2 more of them to cut like that. And then I'll get over on the router, get those done, and get them all like this. And I'll be done with this piece. Then I'll get back to the bottom plates and get them dialed in. Then we'll start working the side plates and the top plates the rest of the way. A little bit of work on all those. So probably another 3 days worth of work before I can even actually get to assembling like I would like to be doing. So, but that's okay. I'll just keep plugging away. It's still winter, still crummy weather, and I may as well just keep busy inside. I know that it's not great video. I am sorry, but it takes time. And to do it and do it right will take time. And I'm all about making sure I do things right. Always have been, always will be. So, that being said, I'll be back with you when I get to the next part of the project, which will be another one, because I'm going to keep documenting them. And I think that'll be a good way to put together one video in the end. After everything's done, you're going to already see it. But for those that come new, and those of you that just want to see it all as one condensed video, I'm going to try and do about a 20-minute video of a window start to finish build. So we'll see if we can't do that. And of course, that's this window. Everybody's windows that they get used will be different, but I'll just show you. You can get something used, reutilize the hardware and the glass. If you can get those 2 things out of it and build the frames yourself, that's going to save you a lot of money. Well, good morning. Got some snow last night. Got some more coming next week. Still working on the pieces. I'm going to go in there and show you what I'm doing in the shop right now. So this week's video is going to come out next week instead, because my goal is to obviously put out my next video of assembly work. And I'm just not quite there. I'll show you what I'm doing. All right, so I'm not showing everything I'm doing, but right now I am making a combination of these pieces here. And this is what I've got, plus the other 2 pieces done so far. This one I have to finish getting this all the way flush here. Then I got to do the ends, which will be, here's what I've got taken apart. So you can see there's a groove here, and this fits inside that groove, and then this trim piece goes right up here and kind of overlaps that when it's all together. And you can see that there's kind of a weird cut here to blend with all this right here. And I wasn't going to do these ends like this, but due to the fact I've already got this stuff done, there's a slot, there's a reason for that slot. I'm going to go ahead and at least get this level, because that's what that slot lines up to. Once you put everything together here, that's what that slot lines up to here. So hopefully you can see that. So, and I've already got that slot obviously in here. Now I've already got the other 2 pieces done. I'll put all that together later. This is for the small window that opens behind me here. That's for this framework here to close against. You can see that I'm going to clean up this framework and try and reuse some of it. I'm probably going to paint it with the forest green paint, because it's a different kind of wood. If I have to, I'll remake them. But they're in good shape. They're not dry rotted. They just need some sanding. A little bit of work, and we'll see if I can reuse them. That'll save me some time. And as far as the glass goes, I have extra glass I could use. I'm making 5 windows. I believe I have 2. Let's see what I got. 2. I think I only have 2 good windows. Yeah, one's cracked in the back here. And only 1 good window back here. And I think that only one of them's in a frame. And it's got to come out of the frame because the ones that go in here are, I think they were, yeah, puttied in. So I'm going to do the same thing. Everything's going to get trimmed out again later. I don't know what's going on here. I think some stuff's missing on these windows that I don't even know what they are, because this has a spot here where a screw goes into it to hold this in place. None of the windows have that material. So I can only assume there's a thick piece of trim that goes here that this attaches to for the hinging in here too. So yeah, it's kind of a funky design too, but it's functional. It's not as nice of a design. I thought everything was flush, but as I look at it, obviously there's a little bit of difference about all that. I'll work with it. It'll be fine for the shop. Not the prettiest windows. I'll make them as nice looking as I can. Anyways, I'm working on the finalizing this stuff and doing these ends on this. Then I've got the side pieces that are going vertical here. I've got to work on them. They also need fittings, but I wanted to kind of hold off on those until I start actually assembling. So once I get this done, I've got this large window piece to do, get it dialed in. I've already got the bottoms done. So I think basically, as long as I got tops and bottoms done, I can start from one side, get to the other side and the middle, and just start working on all these verticals, which will need manipulating and cutting because they're not perfectly a certain simple design. So that being said, I'm going to get back to this right now. I'll show you a little bit of what I'm doing, but it's nothing different than what I've been doing. Actually, I'm going to get done with this, and then I'm going to bring it back on and show you the completed project on the upper here, and then I'll get to the next piece because I've shown a lot of this process. You get the idea. This router table's awesome. I really like the fact that I can do these slots, because when I go to do the floor in my cabin build that I'm going to live in, what is this, tongue and groove, I think it's called? I'm going to do a tongue and groove floor. I'm going to let the stuff dry really good before I start doing it, and then that way there won't be any shrinkage. I want a nice tight floor because I'm going to put pennies over the nail heads. So actually I'm going to probably use screws, like deck screws. Screw everything in. I'm going to glue pennies in. Then I'm going to clear the whole floor after I've stained it. And it should turn out really nice. I haven't decided if I want to do a dark floor or a light floor. We'll see. That's a long ways away. It's probably, with all my infrastructure in, once that's in, that's when I'm going to start that build. My guess is 2 years now. I was hoping to do it next year, but I think that it's a money thing as well. I mean, everything holding me up right now is the weather, but I still don't have the money to buy the plywood for the outer, and I could just do boards. Worst case scenario, which isn't that bad a deal, is I can just mill boards and do all my own boards, and then do my finished boards that I want to do. It saved me a lot of money, so I may do that, because I'd rather spend money on blades and fuel and my time. So we'll see about that. At any rate, I'm going to get back to this. Alright, so I'm working on this. I'm probably on the last pass now. I'll do this and I'll show it to you done. There we go. The only thing I'm not going to do is this slot right now. I may use the metal that was in here. That's what the window closes up against. And I may do it if I can clean them up and they're not bad. So we'll see. I'm sure I've got something where I can do a slot like this. If I can't, I'll see if the blade on the miter saw, the table saw, will do it, but I don't know that I got a thin blade on there. I may have to go buy a thin blade to do that actually. Yeah, there's nothing in my kit. A blade would be the only way I'd get that to work. So I don't know if I'm going to deal with that. But we're good. That's it. I'm pretty close. One more pass should do the trick. See that there's just a little bit left there. So I'll go ahead and sand this down after I run this last pass, just so there's only a little bit to sand down. And then this will be done for now. I still have to do work to this end besides cutting it to length. That can come later. There, nice and cleaned up. It's going to be snowing here, I think either tomorrow or the next day, they say, but it's sunny today, it's nice. So I'm going to go ahead and cut some more of the materials. Unfortunately, this is longer than I need it to be, but I'm going to cut some more window materials today so I can bring it inside and semi-shape it and let it dry, so when I get to it, it'll have had a chance to be in there and be dry. But it's pretty dry anyways. I cut it last year. So what I need is some 1 1/8 inch by 2 3/4 pieces. This is a little bit larger than 2 3/4, I believe. Yeah, we're at 2 7/8, so it's wide enough to work with, barely, but I'll make it work. So I'm going to go ahead and trim off the top here, make sure I've got a good clean start before I start cutting them. So let's get that done. That should work. get one more out of this. And I'll flip it to the side. Hopefully I'll have a good size to work with. Then I can make some other pieces. So I gotta drop these dogs down a little bit. I gotta figure out the next cuts, but I'm gonna pack those guys up right now. Hopefully you can hear me okay. So this is the materials that I'm going to be working on the next few days. It's going to snow. They're talking snow again. So I'm trying to get some of this outside stuff done. So I won't be out here, I'll be inside there working. Trying to get the rest of the materials cut, and then I'll just concentrate on the big window. Like these other pieces are for big window and small window. But that being said, at least they can set aside till I'm ready to start working on the small frame, and then I can catch up with these. These were the miscellaneous pieces I knew I hadn't cut. I'll be back with you tomorrow. Yeah, I gotta see what it looks like outside. Oh, it's a winter wonderland. It's about, I'm gonna say it's about 3 inches deep so far this morning. The most snow we've gotten this year. It is pretty though. It is beautiful. But this is all this morning. It started, probably around 7:30 this morning, snowing here. And this is what we got so far. See if the cabin's still got a good fire going to keep my doggies warm. Let's see what we got here. There we go. I like the fact that you can get a fireplace effect out of this. This thing needs some good cleaning on it later, but it works. It does the job. So I'm gonna go back out there. I'm starting to frame the big window. I'm getting right now ready to pull a window and make sure that it's going to fit in the opening. Let's go back to the shop. Okay, let's get inside and pull a big window out. I got one. I want to keep this one outside the way it is for now. I keep referencing to it, and it's the only one I have that's really complete. But just to show you, that's my start area right there. I got it all squared out. I just got to figure out, and it's not even anchored yet. I still got to put it together. Anyways, let's go pull the glass out of this thing. Not installing it yet. I just need to know exactly the size of it. I need to get this off of here to start with without cracking the glass. I think I can get that out. Oh well, almost. All right, a little bit of light. So I should be able to hook onto the glass here. Oh, not bad. It is a little over 37 inches. It looks like, I'm going to say 37 and a quarter approximately is what the glass is. But now, this is the part I was interested in. So that lands within the perimeters I needed it to land. So I literally could start putting this together. I'm thinking I could put the bottom half together, get the trim in place, and then see how the top's going to pan out, and make sure that the glass and everything height-wise is going to be exact. I got to measure that too. Oops. I think it's 51 and a quarter. I think I'm right on the money. This is 1/16 of an inch over. I don't think a 1/16 of an inch is huge. I mean, I could take off a 1/16 of an inch, but that's just barely even noticeable. So I think that'll be fine. All right, I pulled a nail out of one of them. That's the original nail right there. I'm going to use these guys right here. Hopefully you can see. Same size. So that's what I'm going to start nailing in here. I got to square it up. It may move a little, but let's see what we can do here. Yeah, if I put some blocks in after I'm done here, I'll make sure it's square, block it so everything stays square. Right now it's just moving around, but I'll reposition things on here and put some blocks in and see if I can't get them as a template for the next ones I'm going to make. I'm going to make all large windows first, then I'll make all small windows. Then we'll attach them. Yeah, attach them before they go into the walls. All right. Nice and square. Okay, so I'm going to stop today because I need to make 12 of these, and I'll save these old ones. I can use them in the other Windows project, top and bottom. I can use them in. So they'll still work, and I have to make some 7-foot long ones for the sides anyways. So they'll still work. They're already done. That's a good thing. But sad thing is that they didn't work on this project. So, and plus now it's a holdup. I thought I was going to have this done today and be able to move on to the small window frame and get that figured out, and then put those aside, or do all large window frames even. Would have been actually probably more beneficial to me because it's repetitive. Get them all done, stack them all up somewhere, and move on. But I can't go on any farther until I get the trim done, because that's the first thing I got to put on before I can put on these guys. I can't put them on until afterwards. And even at that, I may, because I cut a bunch of these, I may need to make more of these too. So now I've got a bunch of spare wood here that I have no plans for right now, but I'll save them. I don't think it's going to snow tomorrow, so if that's the case, then I'll come out there, clear all the snow off stuff. I mean, we already got 3 or 4 inches today, and it's only about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So you can see it building up on the solar panels there, right down here on the door. So it's kind of stopped just now. So hopefully we're going to get a little bit of a reprieve from winter for a little bit anyways. I know it's going to come back later. It's only February. That's what happens. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. All right, good morning. This is Tuesday morning, and I had a lot of time to think last night, and I'll just explain it real quick. So, right this moment, I'll even make it so you can see it a little better too, and I'll explain it to you in a minute. Okay, so as far as the large window frames, before I can even put on the rest of the stuff to these, I want to attach through here, because what's going to happen is, let's just say this is the right trim, it doesn't. The trim's going to go on here. Well, when it does, I don't want to go through the trim to anchor the two pieces together. I've decided I'm going to go ahead and use screws to anchor them together, because once they're in the wall, they're not going anywhere. I'm not worried about, screws breaking or even getting in the weather, because they'll be out of the weather completely. So it'll just be easier to screw them in without messing up any of the framework, keeping it square. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and build all 5 of these, actually 4 of these, take that back. It's going to be a different kind of build over here, similar but different, and have one mechanically open window that will be on one or the other side. I don't know which side I'm going to do it on yet. I'm going to go ahead and build 3 more of these. Then I'm going to move on, build the small frames, all 4 of those. And actually I need 6 of those total, but I'll do 4 of them at least so I can get the big windows done. Then I can come back and concentrate on the window that's going to be slightly different. So that's where I'm at this week. I'm going to go ahead and build another one of these today. I think that way it's up a little. Huh. These are just a touch narrower. Unbelievable. That's what I get for measuring things separately. But I'm pretty sure they're all the same, because that's what the material was that I measured. Because I measured off, like I said, some of these have been rebuilt and somebody did some different things to them. Yeah, these are all the same, so it doesn't matter. It's all behind stuff anyway. So I think what I'll do is I'll just bring it up here level and anchor it. I just got to make sure that the width is exactly right here. They both got to be the same. So let's do some measuring here with a tape measure. 40 inches. between 40 and 40 and an eighth is my goal. That's about 40 and an eighth up here. So we were 40 here. And double check that. Okay. May take and skim just a little bit off of this. So top and bottom's exactly the same. Right on the button 40. I may have to skim just a little bit. Yeah, 40 and 8. I'm going to knock a little teeny bit off of this. I'll be back with you. So I'm labeling these. Put a B on this one, I believe. Yes. Reason that is, I want the bottom bases, I've already marked them over there. At the same time I'm marking these. I mark these. One's got the B. Next one's going to be a C. Anyway, so here's another one done. All right, folks. Thank you for watching this video this week. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps my channel out. And if you're not following, why don't you follow along? I've got a lot going on here. Right now it's kind of winter time and it's a little harder to get stuff done. I got 4 big windows ready to start framing up to the small windows. I've got to build those frames. I got some material to work on and stuff still. And I will, even after I get those put together, I'll have even more material to put together for the end result I want. But anyway, I hope you stick around. These are old windows that I found just by talking to somebody, and they said they had some I could have, and it turned out that had some good hardware on it, and they open up. So I'll go ahead and work on some stuff, see what I can get done. It may be 2 weeks out before the next video because I want to make sure I get something accomplished, and it just depends on what I get done. If I get enough done, I'll put something out Saturday this week, but it just depends on how much work I get done. If I can get all the small frames done and ready to start assembling together with the others, or farther along than that, I'll make the video. If I don't get that far, I'll stretch it out 1 more week and do that. But I'm going to get this video done. I'm going to edit it today. This is the end of the video, and it's a long one, so it's going to take probably all day to upload it, and I'll get it posted to you guys. Thanks again. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.